to dive deeper into the political impact for Kamala Harris's decision on who she's going to pick as her running mate. The results will largely come down to swing states like Michigan, right? And Democratic Congresswoman Haley Stevens of Michigan is here with us right now. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, so glad to see you.
So as we've just heard, Harris is meeting with Senator Mark Kelly, Governor Tim Walz, and Governor Shapiro today. Who would you like to see as her pick?
Well, I certainly love all these choices we have because we have such a plethora of talent. And one thing's for sure, we're going to have someone who's more talented and qualified than JD Vance, who's been in the Senate for a year and just keeps getting caught flat-footed and doesn't really seem to know who he is politically or really have well-formed, well-thought-out policy positions. And so I, first of all, am so proud of our current vice president and now our presumptive Democratic nominee, Ms. Harris, for her leadership and the way she's running her campaign. She's coming in Michigan next week, and we're seeing lots of enthusiasm and interest. We're seeing volunteer signups in droves, and it is going to be absolutely fantastic to see her in Michigan with her running mate, whoever she's going to pick. And you just went through these candidates and the selections, that the selection choices, I guess you could say. They're not necessarily candidates, but they're choices, and they're all inspiring people, and they all check a lot of great boxes. And you're absolutely right that this is her choice. It is one of the biggest choices of her political career. And that's why we elect presidents. We elect presidents to make decisions that only she can make. Only the president can make that choice of who's going to be her running mate, and we'll see who she picks.
Yeah.
But I know I'm going to be right there at that rally and right there with this ticket to bring us over the finish line over the next 90 some days for November. And I'm feeling very confident about Michigan, by the way. Not overly confident, but confident because we really have the infrastructure here, and we're going to have the right team at the right time to win this.
Okay, well, I want to take a look at some polling averages that are there in Michigan. Let's see, Harris is slightly ahead of Trump by 1 percentage point there. But back in 2020, Biden won Michigan by less than 3%. So based on that, as we move past this honeymoon phase of Harris now leading the ticket, what does she bring that Biden didn't to voters in your state?
Well, look, they've been a great team, and we've joked with President Biden that, you know, we're ready to help him get an apartment in Detroit because of how much he loves Michigan over his years, going back to his time as vice president and the role that he played in manufacturing policy and during the auto rescue. And being someone who came from the industrial spots of America, you know, born in Scranton, and just certainly taking on the manufacturing bent that means so much to us here in Michigan. So what I like to explain to people is that we in Michigan have been on this campaign trail for a long time. Going back to last year as a swing state, weekly engagements, weekly events, the president and the vice president spending a lot of time here. Now we have Vice President Harris as the presumptive presidential nominee for our Democratic ticket. She's carrying that mantle forward for President Biden and this legacy of work. Remember, she was the tiebreaker on so many of those key Senate votes, making sure that we were getting things like the Inflation Reduction Act that is investing in a clean energy economy that Michigan is leading. Yes, it's absolutely a tight race. I'm here on the ground in Michigan, and I'm seeing people sport the gear of the other side. I was at the Tigers game last night, a great win, by the way, in the 11th inning. And I saw people in Trump gear, and I saw people in you know, Democratic gear, and that was just at a sports game. So we know we're going to have to work hard.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.